Mixed messages, mixed messages, mixed messages, mixed messages, mixed messages, mixed messages. The next thought that comes to mind is the sustenance of romance or even sex appeal. You guys still are romantic. I see you hugging and kissing on each other even today and stuff. You have that going for you. I mean, you guys have always been very open about how your sex life is, and it's just, hide that as far as it's nice. You celebrate it. You celebrate your, right?
He's got big feet.
He's got big feet, exactly, right? So
dresses them well.
Is that all just, again, it is because it is, and there's no work to be done there? That is that just nature? No, I don't mean, I'm not trying to take the work out of it. I'm not trying to make you guys out to be the ultimate hero, right? But I'm just peeling away at the layers of, and you are truly one of, if not the most significant, successful relationship that I know of. So that's fair and honest to say, right? Freaking, how do you keep the romance alive? I mean, for 20 freaking years. I mean, just as simple as that, without it being some kind of true love, or is it just chemistry? Is it nature, or is you?
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything. Like, seriously, like, we'll go through periods where we're just like teenagers, like, wanna fuck. It was funny. I always say to him, wanna fuck? He's like, he's the romantic one. Like, we joke that I used to be the guy and he was the girl.
Right. In what, a past life?
In a past life. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, we've been together many lifetimes, but he was the wife and I was the husband.
I knew you would get a kick out of that. Yeah.
So, here, I'll get really real with you. How's that?
I love that.
So, two things. One is, from my perspective, so Darren's an amazing lover. We have really, really good chemistry. And like I said, he pays really good attention to detail. So he absolutely knows how to master my body, which I'm super grateful for. But, we gain weight, we lose weight. And sometimes you look at the other person and you're like, kind of wish you'd take a little better care of yourself. And then they do, right? Mm-hmm. So there's that, but that doesn't really hold true. I think the hardest part has been, I did IVF, a lot of IVF, and it sent me into early menopause. So the hard part had been, my hormones were off. Like I had no sexuality. But once I started to fool around, then I'm like, hey, this is a good time. It's like I couldn't smell the chocolate. But once someone stuck it in my mouth, ooh, yummy. Right?
Literally, or physically.
Right.
Whatever, figuratively.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, whatever, it's all.
There's the caramel. But that was hard because it came off to him like maybe I didn't want him. I'd never experienced something.
Yeah. When one of those seasons arrived, because you guys have always kind of had a natural chemistry since day one. But when
you work
health seasons or
we tell this all couples the same thing. So the moment that you're like, hey, it's the third night we've been sitting on the couch, when things are too complacent, do something fun to spark things up. Like for us, I think that's done really well. The moment that we feel like complacent, we spice it up. We, sex in the kitchen. No, but I mean, because I think that's when things start to slide down. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. And you're saying within 3 days, like you can get a little lazy at times, but you guys are weekly looking at ways to have fun together.
We weekly check in and don't just let things, we try to just stay connected. And it takes a lot of intention. So when they say relationships are work, I don't think of it as like drudgery work, but you have to keep a mental checklist of the things that are most important. Like if you've got a garden, the garden just doesn't grow stuff and then you grab it and then it just continues. Like you have to tend your garden if it's going to yield you the kind of harvest you want. And the kind of harvest I want is a relationship with someone that I respect, who loves me in boxer shorts or a ball gown. We have fun and but we put intent into it.
Culture.
It has become our culture. Yeah. And now it doesn't seem like it's work. It's
and
just,
you guys are really a brand now. It's almost like coming from the agency world and all that, right? Like you are the Darren and Brandy brand.
Yeah, we are.
Right?
D&B.
Right.
Like all the crazy things people call us because they're trying to say Brandy and Darren at the same time.
Mean, sometimes I call you both each other. It's the same.
But you notice we don't look at you differently because we know.
You already heard it. You saw it. You're like, I know what he's getting at.
You're looking at my eyes,
exactly,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's got beautiful blue eyes. I think we put some good intent.
What did your mom think of him? Like, when she, I mean.
Well, here's the deal. I think my mom she loved me. She wanted me to be happy. She did everything she could to support me to be my best sense of self and be happy. But I have these Brandyisms. And one of them is the things you're most afraid other people are going to do are the things you're most capable of.
I've learned that for myself. Jeez, in the hard way. Yeah, totally.
And so I know my mom wanted me to be happy, but I think she was so afraid that when I met the man of my dreams that I go waltzing off, and I'm an only child. So she hated him when she first met him. Like, we're talking threatened to call the police.
No.
Well, you remember, right? You were
course I
sitting in the
do.
suite, like,
Yes.
I'm all sophisticated at the Diplomat, hanging with everyone. And they're like, Brandy's mother just called the suite and she's threatened. Like, which, if any of you know my mother, that so was not her. And then they had this beautiful
She was
bonding.
like, this is not going down. Like, she was pretty much like, that's a respectable living. But then when you came home with the
right.
twice married, 3 children version of, LA to this, she's like, no, I didn't mean it like that.
And then he's like, and I do search engine optimization. My mother's like, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know
like,
what this SEO blah
right,
is,
like,
but you could take your little tech computer and just go home. You're not for my daughter.
No, not at all. I mean, and she did everything. I mean, she did everything but trip him like down the front steps.
Right? Yeah,
right?
no, I remember the early days.
And then they bonded. And ever since they bonded, it was over smoking weed, another shocker for me. And it's a beautiful, bittersweet story. But they became the best of friends. And Darren, who vehemently deplored my mother, but put up with her out of love for me, when she turned over this new leaf with him, and I'm very grateful, had the heart to keep his mind and heart open to her, created such a beautiful relationship. He adored his mother, but said, I never thought anyone could ever get close to the love I had for my mother, but like, she truly is my second mother.
Totally. I saw it go down. Yeah,
right? I mean, you were there for so
much of that.
He has all the dirt.
I do. That's for the subscribers, Darren. Just tell me that we have some special content for subscribers.
Right, exactly.
So I'll be speaking privately
It's
about
only
the dirt of their
$10,
lives.
so
Right,
worth
$10 a
all
month.
the stories.
I will tell my
And then there was, and then with, oh my God, and then there were 5.
Yeah.
We were on a yacht and they
Love that.
I just like to make that fun noise all night.
I do too. That's fun. Yeah,
It was so much fun.
exactly. So you guys have had some pretty exotic experiences. I mean, boats and things like that.
Erotic or exotic?
Both. Right? What are a couple of just your favorite kind of you and Darren moments like that you guys spent in life? Like just somewhere in the mix of it. There's so many.
Was maybe holding hands and running across the Serengeti. No. The panther on my ass. That was anyone that knows my husband cannot see him running across.
Yeah, we didn't even have to go that far.
Can you imagine?
Totally.
Okay, so what specifically are you
Just
asking me?
any moment. What pops in mind when you think like, maybe even if like saying it more, but if you're on your deathbed, like what are a few of the moments that would riddle over your head about the time, just the moments you guys spent together, just on a momentary level? Just put you on the spot on that. I mean, you don't have to go elaborate into it, but you could just even say the name of it or a location or. My
35th birthday was hands down. He's super romantic, but I love that birthday the best.
That was the little notes and all the little, was that the, I'm in trouble with the birthday. I'm not going to open up.
No, you're
anyway,
so cute.
I gotta
No. Okay, so what I loved about this was, and he's done some amazing stuff, but I just moved out there. My girlfriend, Nani, had called and said, I just went to, in her German, picture this in a German French accent. I just want to spend time with you and your friend's going to want to come out, but I just want you, right? So I was like, okay. She just wants me. I told everybody else not to come. And I'm in this new place with a pornographer, right? And then this bitch is like, oh my God, I couldn't get on a plane. Like, I don't even know what that means. And I'm miserable. So I had a girlfriend, Bretta, that lived in Breckenridge. So Darren, unbeknownst to me, called his work friends that I had met, the ones that he remembered me saying, I like this person and this person. He invited them. He called Sal and Anna, our besties, who just came down here and left 2 days ago. They flew in with their 2 best friends. And were you there?
I was surprised party at the condo. Is that what we're talking
No,
about? Or
no.
is another one?
No, it was at that beautiful restaurant in Boulder. I think you weren't. I think you were out of town or
Maybe
something.
or something like that, yeah.
Because you would
I
have been
remember
there.
it happening. I just don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember the visuals of it. So
he got this beautiful private room, filled it with like 4 dozen roses, got a bunch of beautiful bottles of wine. And then he spent the entire day, because this was 2002. Oh, I just almost said my age. Anyway, I don't remember when this was. But It was 2017.
Yeah, I'm just back to way back in 2017 at 35.
Okay.
It was one of the baddest birthdays. Anyway, back to the story. So you're in a room.
Oh my God.
You booked a room, did the flowers, and he spent all day.
He spent all day, or for a couple of days, I guess, reaching out to every person that I loved and had them write a toast.
That's what I was saying, the little toast, the little memos is what I meant. That was that birthday.
No.
That was a different one.
That was a different one.
Okay, cool.
So he collected all of these toasts to me, and I'm boring, aren't I?
No, I love this.
It's like you fed me food, and now I'm like a
this
phone
is
coma.
exactly the thought. It's your 35th birthday, one of those most memorable.
So, oh my God, I love this. So he would read each person and then be like, who is it? And I was like, oh my God, that's so-and-so. And oh my God. And then he'd never met my dad. He wrote a fucking toast for my dad. Like my dad's voice.
That? Oh my gosh.
Like the words my dad would have used. And I started to bawl. And people thought I was laughing because the whole time I'm laughing and I'm crying and it's so great. And oh my God. And people were like, oh my God,
channeling your dad
she's crying.
And, yeah.
It was so beautiful. And he got me this diamond necklace that had 3 hearts on it for the kids. And then it came together in like a clover almost thing. And it was like this, I had this beautiful, we're a family, we're all connected. But like, it wasn't the things that I love that he does. And maybe it's because I get the nice stuff that I can be like cavalier, but he does things that make me, I love it. It costs no money. It's just fucking thoughtful. And for me, that jazzes me. So I love that. So other stuff, oh God, it's everything from him and I winning awards and going up on stage and having our little like messaging to each other and, no one knows what we're doing. I mean, we've been all over the world. We used to own a sailboat, having our friends on the sailboat, waking up on the ocean together, being with the kids, taking them on cruises and having them research and finding places that they loved. And we never knew where we were going, but they'd, oh my God.
All one, yeah, exactly.
I mean, you want me to go on? I'll tell you.
No, that's enough.
So then there was that time. They're like,
we'll edit half that out, everybody. It's no. So in a podcast about relation pitfalls, right? Like just for everybody, generally, this is not so much applied to you guys, but just in general, what do you think some of the relationship pitfalls might be to kind of have people feel that they're not having that kind of connection, they're not having that kind of natural dialogue, they're not having the trust, I guess, or the at ease? What are things that get in the way of that, or obstacles of people's ability? Or do you think this is just, inherent in two people and soulmates, right? I mean, like they're tools, or it's always tools.
I think people can be like, okay, so things that annoy me about other couples.
Yeah. That sounds right. She translated it to that. That's right. It's like, okay, I think I get your question.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? It's like, okay, so here's the thing that I think is really stupid. What is it? Ashley Madison?
You notice I usually say, we don't have to talk about your relationship now, Brandy. Just go ahead and give
Yeah, I'm like, I'll tell you about what everybody else is doing wrong.
Yeah.
No, but here's the deal. Ashley Madison, they've got that slogan, life's too short, have an affair.
Yeah.
I'm like, life's too short, get a divorce.
Right.
So here's what I believe. I married my husband. Do you know why I married him? Because I was knocked up. No, I wasn't. Been trying for so many years. That's a lie. So, no, I married him because he accepted me for exactly who I was. I am the kind of person who, if I feel like getting up on the table and dancing, I'm going to get up on the table and dance. I don't have someone be like, oh my God, you embarrassed me. Well, then I'm not the right person for you. If you need to clip my motherfucking wings, I ain't the motherfucking right person for you. Or for you.
Anyone else in the world.
Right?
You embody that. Yes, exactly.
When you meet someone, if you like everything about them, like if there's nothing that you want to hardcore change, or people meet people and they go, oh my God, I can just tell with a little bit of help, he could be, she could be. Bullshit. If you like who this person is today, and understanding no one's perfect, right? So you can tolerate some of the stuff, but everything else lines up for you, then go forward. If you're looking at the potential of somebody, you ain't like Michael D'Angelo.
Michelangelo, Michael Jordan, Michael, whatever. You ain't even what
you ain't him. Right?
Yeah.
Like, give me a, right? You're not painting somebody. They are who they are. And the only thing I ever wanted to change with him was he had that horrible porn stash, right?
Okay.
And then he tipped his hair blonde, which I think his ex-wife did just to make him like unmarketable. Okay. So thank you, right. Melissa. I can thank you for something other than your beautiful children.
Yeah.
So I think it's that. We have encountered over the years friends who, because we travel on the road and we work in predominantly male-oriented industries, And so I've always had a rule on the road. I don't care if you cheat. Like, it's not my business. I don't want to meet your wife, or I don't want to meet your husband, right? You get one or the other with me, because then that's not good in my soul.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not. But, you start talking to people because, I'm me. I'm like, so I see a wedding ring, right? Like, what's the deal? And people are like, I just really want to party, but my wife doesn't want to party. Have you asked her? Oh my God, I could never. She's not like that. But you are, and you're married to her. Well, how'd that happen? And so it's funny, we pushed a few people to, if this is what you really want, you want to go out dancing, take ecstasy, and see where the night leads you. What's the worst thing if you tell your wife this is what you want to do and you're inviting her? And so we pushed several people to do it.
And their buttons too, are probably along the way, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, but go ahead.
But guess what?
And
it worked.
Wow.
Oh my God, communication.
Yeah.
I think the hard part is if you don't stay connected with your partner and you're thinking like, God, I just want to go out dancing and like blow off some steam. You can't go to the other person and say this because they feel like, well, am I not good at, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not putting this in the right way. You shouldn't have fed me the food, Heath. But I think it's communication. Really, when you have the ability to be honest with yourself about what you need, having a partner that will value what it is that you need and help you get it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking about, Darren and I were laughing about it. I was saying, I can't think of how many times I've been sitting around in your guys' bedroom, with other people while you and him hold court, right?
That sounded really weird. I'm like, wait, were you there then?
That kind of thing, right? But like, like you guys, kind of hold court together, like, in that sense, right? And that's obviously from a lot of communication, right? I mean, you guys finish each other's sentences a lot, in a sense, and think a lot the same way. And where do you talk? I mean, all the time, everywhere? Is there any safety protocol of what you share, I guess is what I'm saying?
Is there any safety? Yeah. No, not for him.
Not for him.
So I probably share more than he does. In every fashion of sharing. I'm like, this is me. Yeah.
I could have used.
So here's the interesting thing about us. And I think this is, I think we developed this totally not consciously. So have you noticed, if you come to one of us socially, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to tell the other person, because during the day, we don't always connect. And I think that we'll keep it to little 5-minute, little personal conversations throughout the day. But ironically, we can both be in the same room, completely separate, or we can both be in the same room, completely together. But I think that's how we keep our shit together, is that we can be in the same room and just
be in your own space.
Be in our own space. Yeah. And I think that that's been really helpful for us. But I think that's something we've developed over time. I think it's just about showing up for the other person. The man loves Rush. Now, it was wonderful that I was able
does. He loves
to
himself
finally
some Rush.
Pass the baton. But like, you know what? That man wants to go to 80 Rush concerts and I could give two shits about Rush. Guess what?
You're going there with a Rush t-shirt on.
I'm going there with a Rush t-shirt.
You got the tickets.
But why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? And you know what? He shows up for me. My mom had Alzheimer's and I know he loved her. But every weekend, we were doing something with her. I mean, it was a massive piece of our life for many, many years. And at no time did he ever make me feel like I was taking from him or it was too much of a burden on him. I think we try to support each other and we check in. Am I supporting you the way you need? Right? Because why, if I don't have to stand here like this, crippling myself, and it's not benefiting anybody, don't do it. But the only way you know is if people check in with each other. This is what I really want. So I think it's definitely communication. I don't know, man. I think so much of life is just knowing who you are, knowing what your priorities are, and don't let those standards slip.
He used the term, and I haven't shared much of that, obviously, but he used the term of like, make a relationship your home.
Oh, I haven't heard that one yet.
And I thought it really...
In 20 years.
Right? And I thought it was like, wow, there it is.
8.
Right?
I want to do this one over again.
No, but I only shared it with you because I'm going to lean into...
He's going to get the name of the fucking podcast.
Well, we got you.
Fuck.
See?
We're a little competitive.
You are competitive. I feel like a little deviant for even sharing that. I knew you were going to listen to it yourself. But so what do you think? I mean, that's pretty good. I thought that was pretty awesome. And I think we were able to really close our show out with that, right?
How long have we been talking?
About an hour.
We have?
Yeah.
It feels like 5 minutes.
I know.
That's shared nothing of importance.
It feels that way, but this is the real deal. This is the real stuff, right? And you've actually just kind of did a whole wrap up. So, I mean, that was my next question was, what do you think he did say? When you listen to this, what is one thing you think he brought up in this?
Farting. Did he bring up farting? He probably brought up farting.
I gotta let you listen.
Certain it was in
farting.
there.
Okay, that was her guess.
My wife's so elegant. She's so glamorous until someone actually I'm kidding. Till she walks and talks, exactly. And it's like totally gone. What do I think he said?
Yeah.
I think he better have said nice things because no, I think he said that I'm his soulmate, that he loves me more than there's time and space in this universe. I think he probably was honest and said we're a work in progress. We're not perfect, but I think the majority of our relationship has really just been based on good old-fashioned open communication and not bullshitting each other. And also being like super honest. Like every once in a while, I like something for myself. He likes something. So guess what? You get to eat the whole ice cream. We try to make sure that we both get what we need and that we're not the same person no matter how well we get along, that we have different needs and different tastes, and we just support each other in that. But I'll tell you, one of my favorite traits of him is, other than his big feet, picture this. I'm walking around with this charger, like an iPhone charger, and it's this like lantern, and it's big and heavy. And I used to walk around like I looked like Moby Dick or something in the middle of the ocean.
Okay, right.
And with my phone. And I you see on my calls, I do loops and I walk. Well, I started getting these shooting pains up my arm. So I put the thing, whatever. I wasn't even thinking of it. And he's looking at me. Sorry, it wasn't from that. I was walking around with my phone up bent. He pays such close attention to me in a non-creepy way. And I'm thinking I honestly thought I was having heart attacks. Like it was
a little mini.
Like the shooting constant. And he was like, can you do me a favor? Pay attention. Do not hold your phone in your left hand for like 2 days. He never came back because he watched.
And it's just like him to pose it like that. Do me a favor.
Oh, 100%. Or even better, one of my other favorite anniversaries, he had me pack a bag and we went to the Delano and he got us this butler service and it was so romantic. But before we did that, we stopped at the Floridian. And I didn't even know I did this. We ordered breakfast and the food comes and he hands me a card. And the card literally says, now that you've just stuck your finger in your eggs to make sure they're hot enough. And I'm like, it was like the biggest magic trick. Wow. How did you know? Bitch, I've watched you. I didn't even know I did that. So I'm blessed that he pays very close attention and he cares. But I also think both of us, I'm sure on many levels, we really do care about what other people think because everybody does, no matter what anybody says. But I think so much of us, we just don't care. As long as we're not hurting anybody else, we're just about being honest and fun. And literally, we say this all the time, who you see us is who you see. Because we get into bed and I do this stupid thing every once in a while because I still think it's weird that we're allowed to live in a house and I got ice cream that I can eat whenever I want and stuff. So I go bouncing into bed and go, we're having an adult sleepover tonight. We're having an adult slumber party. And we've been doing that for 20 years. It's nice. It's just nice. Don't question. If you have to be in a relationship where you question the words that are leaving your mouth, I just don't think it's healthy.
That's powerful. And that's a perfect way to end it.
I want to do this again because I was in a food coma.
You will do this
because I know
again.
I can do it better than him.
I know we'll do more together.
I'm the one with the sage advice.
You are.
No, he gives really good advice. He really does.
It really was a good show too on his side too. I love them both. Thank you for being here tonight, Brandy.
Thank you for inviting us.
I love you.
I hope they got something.
They did. Thanks. Bye. Mixed messages. Mixed messages. Mixed messages. Mixed messages. Mixed messages. 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 Messages.